afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a breaking news edition of episode number 24 here at the NJ Courts TV News channel. I'll be your host this beautiful afternoon. Well, assuming it's still afternoon where you're at. Let me see. For people on the West Coast. Oh, it's still morning technically. So good morning for y'all on the West Coast. But I am going to be your host, NJ Courts, kicking off what should be, a brief but very informative update today. I've actually got two updates. As you see in this lovely thumbnail behind me, we've got a not really a follow-up because although we've covered this individual in the past, we're not following up from a previous case. We're starting now a coverage of what's apparently looking like or beginning to look like or has already started as a new case. But this is going to stem from a recent arrest, which was just this last, I think, Thursday evening is when it happened with this guy right here. Old Jose Sanders, a.k.a. Making My Way in America is his YouTube channel name. So for those of you that remember our coverage on Jose, completely different coverage, but same person is where I was going with that kind of very confusing introduction. Now, to the other side of Jose, I'm not sure that'll be your left or right. There you go. You've got that mugshot again of old Jason Itzler, a.k.a. Mr. Bass. Now, that's not his most recent mugshot. That's an old one that we're referring to, just for disclaimer. But I've got a big update on that. As a matter of fact, remember our last update on him? We were going over the fact that he had two cases facing quite a bit of charges, including some serious felonies. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what's happened since our last update, and you're not going to want to miss this one. So we'll start with the Jose Sanders news first, then we'll finish up with the Mr. Bass update. I'm going to give it a few minutes for the notification to go out, but thank you for those of you that were waiting here patiently. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for all my mods for being here today. We've got two new mods, so if you have not already welcomed them, welcome Gold Girl to the mod squad and welcome ICU to the mod squad. I appreciate your continuing and further support. Also, welcome to all the members of the jury. Thank you guys for all your continued support. Love y'all. And welcome to all the viewers, whether you love me, hate me, or you're somewhere in between. As I always say, hopefully you're starting to lean more towards the love me side of things. But either or, I still appreciate everybody being here today. All right. While we're letting the notification go out, usually I like to say hi to everybody, but because I wasn't totally ready, just give me that 1 or 2 minutes that I was going to use, or that I usually used to say good morning, everybody, as just a way to prep myself. So I'll just say, like I said before, good morning, everybody. That'll be a sorry ass way to count towards that. Thank you to everybody that joined me over Friday and Saturday morning's birthday live stream. We are still continuing the birthday weekend and festivities. So I have a fun, kind of chill kickback live stream planned for later this evening. We're going to do some grilling. I don't know if I'm going to have any more beers. I think I went over my limit this for the weekend. Yeah, I know. I'm 42, so 3 beers is kind of enough for me, and that's over the weekend, not for one day. But we'll see. But we're definitely going to eat some good food. We're going to kick back, relax, chill, go swimming, have some, just doing, kick back, relax type of Sunday night stream, So for those of you that want to hang out, everybody's invited, but it's not going to be anything crazy. We'll just leave it at that. All right. No pooping and peeing on myself this evening. And I'm not going to be spraying any content spray at individuals. Nothing of that sort. Not even close. But if you want to join in on the festivities, you're more than welcome to. But I wanted to say where I was going with all that was a big thank you to everybody that joined me yesterday evening, or the day before yesterday's evening and yesterday morning. We had a great time. I had a good time, at least. I hope you guys did. Thank you for everybody that helped support that live stream, whether it was just being there in spirit or those of you that were kind enough to help support with a financial donation that, again, is going towards our – actually, I need to update that now that I see the ticker going for our big fundraiser goal, which is our Midwest IRL road trip, which as soon as we hit, I said 500, but I'm going to make it easy on us. As soon as we hit 350, I'm out. We're headed out. Now, we did get a few donations over the weekend, so I need to, without doing the nitty gritty or exact calculations, I think that puts us more or less at 150. We'll just call it 160-ish. So we're there. We're almost there, 150, 140 more dollars and, $200 more, more or less, and I'm off. All right, that gets me going. All right, so enough of my e-begging, enough of my spiel. While I was doing all that, I was actually doing two things at one time, believe it or not, and was getting everything prepared. So Thank you for your patience. So with Jose, now, to kind of give you a little bit more perspective on what's going on, because this news has already been broken. All right. I'm not first to break it. Obviously, that's how I found out about this. Some of y'all had DM'd me, and some of y'all were also in the live stream yesterday and on Friday, commenting and letting me know that, hey, Jose, the news is on the streets, YouTube streets, as he was arrested. And I said, okay, thank you. As soon as I get done with the trip, get back home, I'll check into it. I didn't lie. That's exactly what I did. I even did one better. Because obviously Jose has been a panel guest on this show before. I have his, DM information. I was able to get in contact with him. So spoiler alert, he is already out of jail. So he was arrested. I believe it was Thursday afternoon. And he was released yesterday sometime. Okay. So I spoke to him today. As a matter of fact, while I was on the phone with him, he was actually had to end the conversation sooner than later because he, I guess, was in meeting up with the animal control officer that was bringing back Reese, his female dog that he has, that because he had been arrested was taken away by animal control. So just finished getting off the phone with them this morning. He was able to fill in some questions and details. Again, this is coming from him. Because this incident's so recent, have not been able to file for any FOIA requests. I do know there's another channel. I think this is the one that may have broke some of this information based on some of the posts that I've seen them put out. Looks like they've filed for FOIA. They filed for body cam footage. I'm not sure if they really did or not. I probably will not. I will probably file for an incident report and a booking photo, as I always do. But I will fill you in more or less on what we have to see publicly online in regards to Jose's case. I'll fill you in on what he basically had a conversation with me about and his side of the story as far as what he's willing to share. And then we'll have a little conversation with you guys in chat. Okay. And then we're going to continue coverage on this case because obviously I just broke the news that he was released. His next court hearing, I believe, is August the 20-something-ish. And I'll get you the exact date here in a minute. We're going to refer to his case information, which is public information. This happened in the state of New Jersey. So before I get too far ahead of myself, because I know Jose is kind of he'll call himself a bum. He's a traveling bum, but back in the days, bums used to call themselves bums because those were the bums that used to get on the railroads and travel around and had cool campfire stories and shit. But that's kind of what he does for his content or schlick on YouTube is basically been my understanding, whether you agree with me or not. So he has most recently found himself in the state of New Jersey. And this is where these charges are stemming now, or these are where these charges are coming from. I believe it is Mercer County, more specifically, is the county that is now officially charging him with one charge. I'll just get that out of the way. He's facing one charge currently of making a terroristic threat, which I'm not sure, and I guess we can look up here in a second if that was considered a felony or misdemeanor in the state of New Jersey. All right, so before I get too far ahead of myself, let me check in with you guys and make sure that, one, I'm live, two, that I'm not muted, because that would suck if I was, and three, just to check in with you guys. All right, and so we're going to refer right now really quick to the case information that's publicly available online. A hobo, sorry, not a bum. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you, Justin T, for correcting me. A hobo, not a bum. Anyways, so let's start off with the public paperwork that's accessible right now by myself and any of you guys if you choose to check it out online. And then we're going to jump over to, well, I guess we can't jump over to it technically, but I will then share with you basically the phone conversation I had with Jose and try to fill in hopefully some questions you may have. Again, I don't have an incident report that we can, officially read from. We're just going to be going from, basically what I'm going from is what we're going to be looking at online and the conversation I had with Jose. However you want to take it from there is certainly up to you. All right. So, and then don't forget, as soon as we've wrapped that up, that's not going to take very long. We're not going to be watching any clips or anything like that. I'm going to break that Mr. Bass news for you. So stick around for that. Okay. So here you go. Let's start off with the case info. Sorry, I got like a zillion tabs up between the last week and this week's homework that I had to do. All right. You don't do homework, NJ Courts. You're such a liar. You don't do anything for your show. You just sit there and beg for money. Sorry, I was just kind of thinking like one of the incels was thinking in their head right now. I got to stop doing that. All right, here we go. And it's Sanders like the Colonel. Sorry, just wanted to throw that little joke in. I had been practicing that in the mirror all morning. All right, that's a joke. All right, so here we go. Let me get this screen shared with you guys, and let's get rocking and rolling. So when you do a name search for old Jose Sanders, you're going to have a few Sanderses pop up, but there is only one as of right now, Jose, of the other Sanders. He is at the very top. That's the one that I'm going to select right now. So what you do, New Jersey is a little old school, and they're a little slow. So don't do a lot of clicking because you'll find out later why. It'll take you here to the case information. So basically, it's going to have your, basic case info, height, weight, race, all that stuff. Again, nothing new because we've already done some previous coverage on Jose before when he had some other cases that he was facing, okay? But what you can do is this. You go to the, I believe it's the case list. I may have clicked too many here. Yeah, I did. Hold on. Oh, no, I got it right. Here we go. All right, so here, this one's going to tell us what he is being charged with. I think. No, not yet. What it does show us is the date that these charges basically stem from, or the date of event. Okay, so we'll start with the charge, and then I'll tell you exactly what he told me happened. Okay, it's going to be a long story short, one of those ones. All right, so let's show you charges. Let's just start with there. A lot of these tabs, because this is just a brand new case, aren't even going to open up anything. So don't. If you are going to look this up yourself, don't overcomplicate it. Basically, the only tabs that'll show you anything are going to be the ones that show you the personal information, which again is just like height, weight, their name, and then the charges tab, and then I think the events tab, which shows you when their next court case is. So right here, we can see what the complaint was or what he's being charged with. Again, this charge is stemming from June the 19th. He was just arrested a few days ago, which was what? Thursday, I guess, would have been the 17th. So more or less 1 month later is when this arrest was made, okay? It's my understanding he was arrested on a warrant that was issued because of what happened more or less on the 18th or 19th of June. And then we'll go from more there once I get to that part of the story. But basically what he is currently being charged with right now is a charge of terroristic, I'm highlighting it right now, terroristic threat to commit crime. It says under degree third. It is an indictable offense under crime type. But again, I'm not sure if that's a felony or if that's considered a misdemeanor in New Jersey. I'll look that up here in a second. But there is the type of charge that he is facing, which again is terroristic threat to commit a crime. All right. So now, let's see if I can show you the date for his next case. And then I'm going to tell you more or less, share the story of what he shared with me. And hopefully I don't confuse people. I think I've got it down to where I should be able to share it and not confuse people, but all right. Scheduled event. Sorry. That's what I was trying to get. Huh. All right. I think it might be back here. But either way, I'll get you the exact date, either just in a few minutes or at some point before that court date. But I know it's in August. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I think I actually might have it here. At another location. 1 second. Yeah, no, it doesn't show on here either. So I swear I saw somewhere August. He told me August too, but I swear there was somewhere here on the court case information. But either way, I'll confirm the date with Jose. And, once I get some incident reports coming in through my FOIA request, I'm sure that information will be on there. Or I'm sure, like I said, if I saw it under the case info here, I'll be able to get you the exact date and time. But that's not too important. Let's move on with what did he do? What got him arrested, basically? What happened that basically issued out a warrant that led to his arrest? Okay, so let's start from there. We're going to do a little timeline here. All right. So basically, it sounds like around or at some point and during the time of June 17th or 18th, Jose was doing a live stream. Okay, he's doing his little thing. During his live stream, and again, I'm not going to get into a bunch of details until I got the incident report, and he really didn't share too many details because he can only share what he feels comfortable sharing. But basically, during this live stream, there was some things said according to what the police are saying, and they're referring to a vlog of his that was posted on his channel. Now, mind you, this vlog was, I think, according to Jose, originally recorded 7 to 10 years ago, okay? So it's an old vlog that was posted on his channel. So basically between the vlog and his actions or what he was doing on that vlog, which was just basically him at a gun range, it was him and his cousin. He was at an indoor gun range. And then what, I guess some things that were said on his live stream, that was an actual live stream that was done sometime around June 17th or 18th. Okay, so between the live stream and this vlog that, although is on his channel, but was a 7 or 10-year-old vlog, those two things are what led police to want to speak to Jose. Okay, so basically Jose said this. He said that they reached out to him a while back. Okay, I think last month. Okay, not too long after that live stream. And he was contacted by a police officer, a detective. And it's my understanding the detective wanted to meet with him. So the detective said, I'll meet you at a police station, gave him an address. Jose said because he has a dog in his backpack, he's a traveling hobo, that, he couldn't go inside, so that he'd meet the detective outside. Detective, according to Jose, said, fine. So Jose says he went down to the police station. Detective never came outside. Jose waited for about an hour, and he left. Made no contact with the detective, and that was it. Okay? Just went about his life. Okay? So I guess during this whole time, okay, between this time you're supposed to speak with the detective last month and just a few days ago when he got arrested, a warrant was issued. Okay? Now, to get a warrant issued without you, not already having a court date and like missing the court date, kind of like, the bench warrant ski mask tends to get a lot, which are for not showing up, no show bench warrants. This was not that. Okay. This warrant had to be issued by a judge. And in that case, an actual officer had to call a judge, or, if he had time, go to the judge's office, basically present what evidence they have at hand to that judge and say, hey, based on this evidence we're showing you, Judge, we'd like you to file an arrest warrant so we can, arrest him and charge him with this charge. And if the judge concurs or agrees with them, he or she signs off on that warrant. Now you have an active warrant. So somehow an active warrant was signed, and now basically anytime Jose has any police engagement, he's going to be arrested for that warrant. Okay. So now fast forward to a few days ago. So it's my understanding Jose gets a call. All right. Now he gets a lot of calls. So, he's got to be careful, he said, when he's taking these calls to make sure, the people say they are who they are, say they are. So apparently this individual, when he answered, said, hey, we're a police officer or police department. We want to speak to you. And Jose said, well, listen, I can't believe any of you guys anymore because I've been getting a lot of these calls. How do I know it's really you? And they said, well, we'll come meet you. If you don't think it's us, we'll come meet you. So where are you at? So basically, Jose told them his location. I guess he was by some, like a true hobo. He was by some railroad tracks. And he said the detective showed up along with quite a bit of force, and he was placed under arrest. He was arrested and charged with terroristic threats. Now, he saw a judge yesterday, I believe, and he was released it's my understanding from Jose, I didn't look this up yet, that in the state of New Jersey, there is no bond. So they either hold you or they release you. So yesterday he was released on his own, ROR'd by a judge, and he's now awaiting his court date coming up in August. All right. That's basically everything he shared with me in a nutshell. I did say or invite him to come up today and speak on his behalf. He said that he's just not in the right state of mind, so he wasn't going to do that. He might be in chat, so I'm not sure if he's, already joined in or chimed in, is answering some questions. But either way, I'm sure we'll be able to, reach out to him somewhat in the future. Or he might come back on as a panel guest as he has in the past and give us maybe a little bit of a better explanation if mine didn't work in his, the way he saw it, or fill in some of the gaps if there's any more questions from now until the next court date, assuming, we do speak to him. But basically, like I said, he's got a court date coming up in August, and that's what he's going to be hanging around in New Jersey for. I believe it's Mercer County that he's going to be having all this court process through. So again, I'll be filing some requests to see if I can get the incident report as well as, the booking photo. Now, what do you guys think? Sorry, I know that was a lot of information. Hopefully it made sense. But basically, my experience with Jose has been this. I don't know him well enough to know if what he's telling me is the exact truth. But I can say I have been able to fact check a lot of the things that he's told me before in the past. And it has basically matched, what I fact checked and what he said. So I'm going to, kind of roll with what, was explained to me is somewhat how it went down. But I personally, again, this is my opinion, Jose, if you're watching, I'm not trying to be a dick. I just think there's few little spaces that he didn't fill in, and it was probably intentionally. Again, he's just willing to share what he wants to share, and that's why it's important that we get the incident report. But basically, the way he was saying it was that, because I asked him, I said, well, because you guys know me, I'm a big advocate. Let me take this off here. I'm a big advocate for the First Amendment, okay, and the Second Amendment, right? So I said, well, from what you told me, it sounds like, one, you were just exercising your Second Amendment right, being at a gun range, okay, on your vlog, okay? Because I asked him, I said, well, did you have a conversation on that vlog? He says, no, it's just a 2-minute vlog. And then he kind of mentioned something, and I'm not going to say it, but that's when I was like, wait, hold on. And then, there wasn't any more. Okay. But then I said, well, then what happened on the live stream? What basically, what do you think was said that would have, because you have the right freedom of speech, obviously if you're on YouTube, you've got to follow their terms of service or they can just, take you right off. So I'm like, what do you think if what was said that, obviously you were able to say on YouTube that, made a police officer think that, hey, we better go get a warrant or want to speak to you. So I'm confused about the whole first interaction about him and this detective. Okay. Because I asked him, I said, before you left, did you knock on the door? Did you try to call, make sure, hey, I'm out here? He said, no. He says in the phone call, the guy said, I'll meet you outside. And Jose Hill said he'll be outside. The guy didn't show up. So, I said, well, basically just sounded like, hey, I didn't see him. So that was it. Hey, whatever. But if it was me, I probably would have maybe checked in before I left, maybe made one last phone call. That's just me. But that was a little confusing, as to how that first interaction went down. But let's just say it went down like it did. Obviously, something must have been important enough that was heard, said, whatever, that, like I said, a judge signed off on a warrant and a detective felt it was important enough to file charges against him and arrest him for it. So, like I said, once we get the police or incident report, we may find out more information, and maybe we won't, obviously, Jose has his right to court. As they say, you are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, in the eyes of the court of law. And we'll follow up with him come August. Now, if we do anything before then, maybe he wants to come up and speak on his behalf. I'll certainly entertain that. But let's just assume we don't hear from him come August, whatever the date was, and I'll get you the exact date at some point. We'll get you a better update then. All right. Moving on. Next update I have. Okay, Mr. Bass. Now, this morning, I was kind of just trying to get my monthly, daily, weekly, whatever you want to call it, updates ready. Usually like to have 2 shows during the week. So weekends I take to prep for my shows, kind of do a little research. So I was just seeing, I knew already we had some cases coming up for the end of July. We have, I know Blackout Andy's got something here soon, part of his DUI case. Vegan Patriot, I think it continued her RO hearing with the IBL for the end of this month. Who else? Latiti, a.k.a. Leticia Collins, has a hearing, her omnibus hearing at the end of the month. So there was already some hearings I knew were going on. So I was just trying to remind myself of dates and times. Well, on my notes, I had down in August, we had Mr. Bass and we had Tone that had court hearings. Remember Tone? Yeah, he's got his court hearing still in August. I think. I haven't checked up to see if they changed anything. But either way, I said, well, let's look up and see, just because I want to remind myself again the court dates on Mr. Bass, right? Well, I go to the New York Unified Courts website like we've always done, typed in his first and last name, and lo and behold, nothing shows up. Okay, so let me just show you really quick. Let me give you a quick example. So this is the website I went to right here. Let me bring it up to you here on the stage. How about now? Can you guys hear me all right? I just got a message that I was muted. I'll wait to see that I'm all right. Mic check, mic check. We're good? All right, cool. Thanks, Roofer. So hopefully you guys heard what I was saying, which is, we were doing a court case search, typed in his name, and nothing came up, right? So in the past, when no names come up when you do a court case search, usually means it's not an active case anymore. So what did I do next? I reached out to the alleged victim of, I think, all the two cases was Alex Novell. DM'd him. Let me just share you exactly what I wrote to him and exactly what his reply was to me. I said, hey, buddy, good morning. I was doing some research on some of the individuals I have showing for court in August and noticed Jason's cases or info is no longer showing. Did they happen to dismiss the charges? And this was his reply. I can't talk about anything anymore due to settlements, but all I can say is the matter has been resolved. And then it had one of those little smiley face winks. And that was it. And I said, sounds good. Thank you for getting back. So apparently, if you now go on the New York State's unified court system and do a criminal court case search for Jason Itzler, a.k.a. Mr. Bass, you will not find any court cases. And the reason is because they no longer exist. And according to the DM I received, it appears that there was probably a settlement that was done outside of court. And when that happens, just let me remind you of something. Still, charges can be brought on by the state, but generally the state will, the state will find out that a settlement was made and may contact the victim and ask whether they want the charges to continue to be pressed or not. Depending on that answers may be where this went. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just giving you an example of how things in the past have worked out, like, kind of like what I think we're seeing here. All right. When you see out of court settlements and then criminal charges no longer being active. Okay. So, in regards to the criminal charges against Mr. Bass, as of right now in the state of New York, I don't see any. And we'll just end that coverage on him. Or I guess we can technically close the book on Mr. Bass for right now, assuming he doesn't open that back up again. So, Mr. Bass book is closed. We're going to be filing it back here for right now, and hopefully not having to open it up at all. But unfortunately, we've had to reopen quite a lot of books, so we'll just leave it at that. All right, so let's see here. So with that, let me just answer this one. I just saw this question. Somebody asked about VP's court hearing. So with those hearings, one, if they are going to be available to be through like a teleconferencing type of arrangement, those, because they are considered a DV related type of incident or court case, those are not allowed to be, even though they will allow the victim in this case and the alleged defendant to, obviously teleconference, they don't allow access to the public. Okay. Now let's just say you do get access to it because it's on the internet. And if that's the case, then hey, more power to you. You will probably see some type of warning or disclaimer that's going to say you're not allowed to post it on the internet. Okay. When it comes to the DV stuff, juvenile DV stuff, it don't matter if it's public or media. Basically, those are like the two things that media can't basically share information on or have to censor a lot of things from. If that answers your question. Everything else is free game. And again, well, that's I hope that answered your question. Like I said, if it's available, it's available. If you get it, that's up to the person that gets it to do what they want to do. Now, I have a feeling, though, that if Big T showed it, I have a feeling, was it shown, because I didn't see that, was it shown in its whole context? Did you guys get to see everything, or were you just listening to something in the background? But either way, like I said, a lot of that information, you don't have to do it illegally. Like I'm assuming that's the way that Controlla did it, because I do this for a living. So I know how this works. And I could have easily done what she did, but I'm monetized, and I'm not going to put myself in that situation, Oh, wait. Audio, or did you see video too? Because if there was no video, it still doesn't matter. I think she just thinks if she doesn't show the video that gets her off the hook, but it doesn't make a difference. Okay, sounds like you saw video. I don't know. Either way, I don't give a shit. But yeah, to answer your question, no, I will not. Now, you can always, like, if you want to pay for it, which I'm not going to, you can try to, well, it's usually they charge. I'm not seeing a county or court that does not charge for it because it's a lot of work. You could always have like the court log or notes, basically put into a file or just sent to you the old school way in mail, but you're going to have to pay for that. That's, how they have the court interpreter. Now I think they just do record it, and then they have an AI program that transcribes the recording into an actual like written file, But that's something I think you guys should be able to publicly access, even in those cases. They just basically don't want minors and victims of DV's faces being put on the screen, if that makes any sense. Anyways, well, what's new? How else did you guys think she was going to address at a court hearing? I like that. Well, like I said, I'm here's the thing. I'm not going to be negative towards it, because There's a reason why I am transparent in everything I do, because I believe in transparency. But it's just unfortunate people have used now everything that I've shown and how to do it for more of personal things, not because they're exposing things because of the news and they rightfully care for the community. I've noticed, unfortunately, a lot, especially in the drama community, a lot of those individuals have used the things that I've, been very transparent as a way to weaponize things and use it to their advantage, to just continue their drama and crap. But Dawson, good afternoon. Good to see you, my friend, and another member of the Mod Squad. Oh, Dawson, you're in for some changes. I don't know if you heard, but we got 2 new members as part of the Mod Squad, so you got 2 more teammates. But yeah, so hopefully that answered everybody's questions. If you guys have any more, let me know what's going on. But yeah, as far as with the old Jose updates pending, I guess according to this other channel that's starting to cover this information or case, they've requested or put in a request already for body cam footage. So you may have some body cam footage sooner than expected. But I will be sending my request tomorrow morning, first thing, for the incident report, as well as the booking photo. That's basically what I do with everybody I cover. Whether or not they're going to, say yes or no, that's to be determined. But let's just be on the positive side of things. Let's assume they say yes. As soon as I get that information, I'll have another episode back up and be here sharing it with you. Let's see here. What else is going on? Hold on. Let me get my July updates here. I know we had mentioned Vegan Patriots. You guys are talking about that. Her RO hearing is coming up here soon. Yeah, that's going to be on my birthday. Go figure. The day of my birth happens to be the day that Vegan Patriots RO hearing was rescheduled to. Thank you, God. And I'm not kidding, though. So, yeah. So 22nd at 9 a.m., I believe, is when her hearing's going down. Blackout Andy's got his continuing his DUI trial or hearing, July 29th. We've got, let's see here. Who else? I know we've got, we said, Latite. Where's Latite? A.K.A. Leticia Collins. For those of you that remember that coverage or are familiar with that individual. And also, before everybody leaves, don't forget, if I didn't already mention it today, earlier, I think I did, I'm going to throw out the invitation here in a bit. We're going to continue yesterday's festivities, birthday weekend festivities / e-begging for the Midwest IRL road trip. I'm just being real. We'll continue tonight. We're going to be having a little kickback, swim sesh, barbecue, and little bonfire. I can't say it too loud because I know my parents will have a fucking heart attack. But we are going to continue to burn down that little log that we, the candle that I lit when we were camping on Friday night. Remember that big ass candle I brought with me? Because we never got to fully test out whether or not that magic powder that I bought from Walmart that you're supposed to sprinkle over your campfire and it makes it like turn all these cool different colors. You know me, and I love lights and colors, we're going to see if that does work. We're going to give it a 5-star review. It's either going to be a 5-star or 1-star review tonight. So the festivities and fun continue, my friends. So I hope to see you guys there. What up, Sunshinery? Good to see you. Oh my God, I think we might have all the mod squad here. No, I think if we had Joe in here, we'd have the whole squad. One of these days. Good to see everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend, though, or continuing to have one. And if you're not, I hope your weekend ends soon, so that way you can get it out of the way, get your new week started. But that was all I had as far as updates for the 2 individuals that I was going to break some news on today. Really wasn't planning on breaking any news, but I had a lot of people that reached out to me yesterday and the day before while we're doing our camping stream and said, yo, Jose got arrested. So I said, well, let me just wait till I get home and I'll do some research. And that's what I did. And even better, I just reached out to him directly and let him give me his side of the story. So, Jose, if you're watching, hopefully I was able to pass that on as closest to what you had mentioned, the way you had told it to me. And just like I mentioned to him, I said, if there's anything that's going to be different or changed, if we get the incident report, it's going to reflect that. So he knows that. So I could just imagine for the most part, it should, but we shall find out soon. Well, David Duke, I've got some little short docs that I'm working on right now. It's been a lot of work. I don't do documentaries, and it's something new to me, but it's been fun. So hang tight with me. I'm trying to get into being a little bit more creative on that end of things instead of doing my broadcast and the fun IRL streams. But yeah, I've got some stuff up my sleeves. Let's see here. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I can think of. No, that's it. For those that did come out, I hope you guys for this weekend, I hope you guys had fun. I was just going back and watching some of the footage, man, from the drone. Oh, man, I got lucky. I should have never gotten dipped down that close. But I'll tell you what, that was some awesome footage, though, and I'm glad that we got it done because I'm going to edit that out into some cool footage, put some background music, and I'll post that soon. So in case you guys missed it, we were able to test out the drone a little bit more, and we're able to actually, through, believe it or not, what was it? Another application, we were able to bring in the direct stream from the drone and the what is it? The water cam, my action cam. I'm having a brain fart. My GoPro, which that's cool because that you don't even understand on the live stream end how that just changes the game up for a lot of things. But thank you again for those that joined me because you not only did we have fun, but you guys let me test out a lot of cool stuff that here in the future you're going to see this channel utilizing, and it's going to be a game changer. I'm telling you. Just the fact that I'm able to run 2 camera views on one stream, and say for example I'm done with the GoPro, right? Like we're going to try that tonight again. So I'm going to be on live on Prism like I always am when I'm doing my RL streams. So I can still run Power Chat. People can donate and stuff through this TTS. But then I can still run another camera or view from my GoPro. So when the GoPro dies, like in the past, when we used to run the live streams right off the GoPro, as soon as the GoPro battery died, it ended the stream. That was it. Now, GoPro battery dies, I can go change out another battery. Boop, the stream never dies. And you always have a camera on me. So the fact that I can now bring, as long as it's got an RTMP address or URL, I can bring in that feed now, and that is a game changer. Officially 2 days. That is correct, Sunshinery. The official, because I had people ask me if you know. This is my birthday weekend. Official birthday is on Tuesday, the 22nd. So again, thank you for everybody for the birthday wishes. It means a lot, especially when you start getting to my age. I'll be 42. You know, you start people start forgetting about you, and it's much expected. So I'm not one of those people that's like, you know, like my little buddy Skiwi that expects, you know, everybody and their mom to be sending me birthday wishes and all their savings and all that, you know. No, not at all. But all the happy birthdays meant a lot. So thank you all. Oh, I didn't update the, hold on. Before we even leave, let me update the banner. What am I thinking? I'm sorry. How rude of me. So we are now at 160 from this yesterday's trip, Friday and Saturday's trip. Thank you again, everybody that helped supported that trip. That was awesome. Of our dono goal. So let me update that really quick. Nope, that's not what I want to do. And I have changed this now to 350. If we reach 350, I am off to my Midwest IRL road trip. I still need to, you know, hit 500 at some point. So hopefully me bringing you guys content as we're on the road trip will help us reach that $500 so that way I can get back home. But if we hit the 350 mark, I'm off. So we are at 160 of 500. And thank you guys. I really appreciate that. You guys rock. All right. There we go. Ticker is now updated. All right, my friends. Let me get back into the chat here so I can catch up with you guys. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Coming to Detroit. Well, that would have to be part of my East Coast road trip. So depending on when, who was this? Oh, I'm going to say this incorrectly, and I apologize right up front. Yom Stewie 144, 144, not 144, 144. Well, 144, you can say it that way. Anyways. So I've been in the East Coast already as part of the channel, but that was just to do the control of court case coverage, which involved me arriving in New Jersey, doing some coverage there. Then since we're so close to New York City, we said, hell, let's go there and do some fun IRL. That's what I did. Didn't go anywhere else in the East Coast. So that doesn't count as my East Coast IRL road trip. Now that I started the IRL road trip series, I have done officially a West Coast, which is the one I just completed last month, which is fucking awesome. And that one's now set the bar. We've got the Midwest IRL road trip coming up. That one I think is going to top the bar we set. And if not, they're going to be even. And then I'm currently working on trying to get something together for an East Coast IRL road trip, which it's either got to be before you guys get fucking really cold out there or after. So, but I will be out there because I've got to complete the IRL road trip tour. I can't leave out the East Coast. Are you fucking kidding me? So I've never been to Detroit, and I would love to check it out. All right, my friends. I hope you guys had a, like I said, decent weekend so far. I hope you guys will join me later this evening. Keep your notifications on. I'll post that here as soon as I get everything ready. I got to wait for the sun to start going down a bit because it's way too fucking hot right now. As a matter of fact, although the weather would have been better to light a candle tonight or last night if we had gone camping, I think they still have the fire restriction the same, even though it rained and it doesn't make sense. But it would have been a way hotter day. So I'm glad that we did end up going camping Friday night, even though the weather was not as good at night. But it was okay because we had the windsock, which I'm glad we were finally able to utilize it, and it worked. Okay. Made the stream so much bearable. I mean, literally, it did its job. I didn't hear any. I went back to listen because I was curious to see how good. Dude, I didn't hear any wind. Okay. So that windsock did its job. Shout out to Rode for putting out a affordable mic for us poors that actually is good quality. And then we got to enjoy some rain. I liked it. It wasn't bad weather for me. Just for live streaming, it wasn't the best, but I got to enjoy some nice rain periodically. We got to dick around trying to we successfully did cook our hobo meal, which was awesome. And then we tried to light a candle, which semi worked out for the most part. But we were trying to experiment with this cool powder that I bought that you're supposed to throw. It's not like it's like not meant for it. It's literally campfire powder. And here, I got it. Let me show it to you. What the fuck am I talking about? I have it right here. I've been looking at it all day. I was all bummed we couldn't use this that night. So I got this shit, man. It's called Go Fire Color Flames. So it's got 3 packs. You just need 1 pack, and it says up to 1 hour of colors per packet. Simply toss an unopened packet into any pre-lit wood fire, color flames, campfires, fireplaces, fire pits, indoors and outdoors. So we're going to do one of those. Exactly, Sunshiner. You know me and my magic colors, you know. What up, Baseline? It's nice to see all the OGs. Good to see all the mod squad in here. Good to see the members of the jury. Welcome to all the new viewers. Shit, I didn't even realize. I got, every week they send you like a little summary of all your numbers, your analytics. And we just passed, I think, 6,400. So on the way to 6,500, hopefully reaching a goal of 7K with a bigger goal of reaching 10K out on the horizon. What up, Cruel Device? But welcome everybody just coming in. Welcome to all the new members of the jury. Welcome to all the new viewers. Again, thank you for everybody's support over the birthday weekend. And we're going to continue with the festivities. And if we get any, like I said, even though they're birthday donations, they're still going to be applied towards this IRL road trip because it's how much I love you guys. All right. I'm doing it for the channel. So I appreciate the birthday wishes. And even if you want to say happy birthday, doesn't have to be in the form of money. Okay. I'm not going to love you anymore or hate you anymore. All right. Come hang out. All right, you guys. I appreciate everybody's being here, everybody's support. I hope I was able to answer for the most part any questions you may have had. If I didn't, don't forget, you can always DM me. You can email the channel's email. You can leave a comment. For the most part, I think most people can agree that I'm pretty good at getting back to everybody. It may take, 48 hours. Usually I'm 24 hours or less. But, if it takes me a day or two, maybe because I'm busy or got appointments that week. But generally, if it's on the weekend and I'm not doing anything, I'm usually pretty quick with getting back with people. So hit me up. All right. Unless you just want to talk shit. If you do want to do that, just come in the live stream and do it that way. It's easier. Actually, I think I'm going to start monetizing you shit talkers. I'm not even going to read your comments. You're going to have to pay $3 like y'all did on Friday to talk your shit. That's what we're going to start doing. Yeah, pull up a chair, man, for sure. All right, y'all. It's good to see some of the OGs back in chat. Love you guys as always. Don't forget, keep that head on a swivel. Make sure and check your 6 every once in a while. And most importantly, take some time to love people, man. We need a lot of that going on, dude. There's so much fucking hate and shit going on in this world right now. I thought it was going to be getting a little bit better as the year progressed, but it honestly seems like it's getting worse. So just keep your head up above the water, and it's going to get better. I know it will. But thank you guys again for all your support, man. I'm still happy to be alive and here with you guys and keep doing what we're doing. All right, fighting that good fight. All right, everybody, have a good rest of your day. If we don't see you tonight, have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll catch you on the next NJ Courts TV update. I'm your host, NJ Courts, officially signing out with my half-ass co-host that only like to hang out, come when we're going to end the show, but don't want to be here hanging out with me during the beginning and the middle of the show. Just kidding. I still love you guys. Rio was the man. Rio was the champ of the weekend. Fucking champed it out all weekend at the campsite. Pulled security at the campsite for me at night, because if you guys followed our stream or if you catch that VOD, we did a little paranormal investigating that evening once the sun went down, and it got a little weird. I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? And I'm not one of those people, because I take my paranormal investigating serious. I still haven't gone back to kind of analyze everything that happened, but for the most part, I'm going to say that we probably did have somewhat of an encounter based on what happened. If you know, you know. So I appreciate Rio kind of making me a little bit feel more at comfort that night when I slept for 2 hours in my little vagina, inflatable vagina. And he was also fun to hang out with at the lake or at the river. So he had a blast too. You'll have to check it out, Cruel Device. I'll let you guys make your opinion about that. But I will say this. We have done paranormal investigating in the past. As a matter of fact, the last time we were in the Midwest, we were invited by Dawson, one of my mods and good friend, to go check out the Sally House. So for some of you that don't know about the Sally House, just go to my main channel page if you have your desktop, because that's the only way you can search the channel. Unfortunately, I don't know why they don't have that for the mobile yet. And type in Sally House, and you'll see everything we've done about that. But we did an actual live stream paranormal investigation there at the Sally House. So continuing with that, we did something 2 nights ago, and I'm going to give you a little hint. Assuming, which we are, when we go on this Midwest IRL road trip, there's going to be a theme to my road trips if you haven't caught on. And that theme is going to be the paranormal. And I'll just leave it at that. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your afternoon. NJ Courts. See, here they come. That's so cool that you guys are trained. They know. Is officially out. Now I got to train you to at the same time. Up here. Peace, everybody. Take care. Hey, the man of the hour, Jose Sanders. We're ending now, Jose. Otherwise, next up they would do, you can come up and give us your side of the story. Hopefully, I shared it as you expressed it to me the way you would want it. But I think we got all the details. Everybody, have a good rest of your afternoon. Love you guys. Peace.